Welcome. I'm glad you found us again and that you came back. This is Sprouting 2, more feedback, movement. In Sprouting 1, we established you were aware of pain in your body, resistance in your body, and that you could operate your imagination in your body. And now you will use these three traits to reveal more capabilities. A list of supplies will need to be gathered, and get as close to these as you can. Push pause while you go get them, and then it'll be on the screen. Let's see if you got what's needed. Some sort of coloring set. A blank sheet, or actually 2 blank sheets of unlined paper. A heavy object placed on a towel. An imaginary blackboard. Now stand up facing your computer, and you have to rearrange these things. Push pause because the heavy object has to be within reach, and you're going to be closing your eyes. And an imaginary blackboard has to be within reach. I hope you can do that. Part of this will be done with your eyes closed. Here we go. Pretend to pick up the imaginary blackboard with 2 hands. Hold the board with one hand and erase the surface with the other hand. Erase all of it. Close your eyes. Get all 4 corners. Now open your eyes and pick up the heavy rock and pretend it's a piece of chalk. Now close your eyes and draw a square on your board with the heavy chalk. Open your eyes and put the rock down. Now close your eyes and stick out your pointing finger. Draw a circle inside the square with your pointing finger. Now imagine the sun in the sky. Put the sun on the tip of your pointing finger. Now draw a triangle inside the circle by moving the sun with your finger. Do that now. Now place the sun solo in the middle of the triangle and put your hand down. Move the sun with your eyes to form the first letter of your name. Good. Now open your eyes, sit down, and draw what you just did on your piece of paper with your coloring set. Remember to push pause as you work. Now let's look at your movement drawing, or lack thereof. If it does not have a square, push pause and write down the video Sprouting A, Skin Awareness. This is another video on YouTube. Basically, if one's skin is activated, it will allow you to project an imaginary blackboard on which to draw. Without a blackboard, the input from the heavy chalk is lost, and if you have no square, you need to experience Sprouting A, Skin Awareness. Next, if the square is in your drawing but there is nothing else, you are connected to your large muscle input. Through your body and your skin is activated, but you need to practice interpreting your experiences into thought forms or images. Push pause and write down the redirect Sprouting B, Expressing. Sprouting B, Expressing leads you through a fun experience on how an experience containing sensory opposites can be used to activate your ability to make images or thought forms. Putting them down on paper helps bridge to the flat where most schooling is located. Color. Third, we're going back to our movement drawing. Color indicates the inclusion of the emotional body. The lack of color, or only one color, indicates the exclusion of the emotional body. Now that happens quite frequently. So if you have only one color in your movement drawing, push pause and write down redirect, sprouting C, emotional body. Back to your movement drawing. The sun that we put on the finger and also moved with our eyes indicates the light of the mind. The triangle is the living color, indicates your mind and your pointing finger are coordinating. If the triangle is not on your paper or your first initial is not on your paper, press pause, write down the redirect, sprouting, D, vibrator. And it's found on YouTube like everything else. The presence of the first initial of your name in the center of the circle indicates you can coordinate the fine muscles of your eyes with the light of the mind. This particular integration is one that sometimes makes traditional type schools easy, but it doesn't mean you are grounded and integrating the other parts of your body into your awareness. Before we move on, note the wheel diagram that's coming on your screen. That shows spokes coming out of a hub. The hub represents your cells. The spokes are different experiential paths to activating the cells. Your job will be to explore the experiences given and not to move on until you are competent in all of them. Now, I'm going to add a little something in here. The experience is just a sample, and you have to make up your own and use different sensory opposites and learn to express them. And it takes years sometimes, but if you work at it, then you can do it. You can go from your experience to creating a thought form. And you don't have to express it just in drawing. You can express it in dance, you can express it in poetry, you can express it any way you like, singing, it doesn't matter. But eventually you want to be able to take your experiences and be able to put them into some sort of expression, and that readies you for the next part that we'll be getting into. Now, let's review a minute. Each spoke of the wheel leads to a different video. And if you've left something out or didn't feel skilled in it, do more and make up your own redirects. Push pause once again, look over your movement paper and explore the videos you've written down. Participation and honesty with yourself will yield the best feedback. Without these, there will be no accurate feedback and very little progress. So, the old adage, be true to yourself, and everything works out, at least with this video. When you have a good grounding and competency in all the spokes of the wheel, you should be ready for sprouting 3, filters made simple. And you want to write that down for a future reference. See you there.